beyond help. I specialize in helping people quit smoking, losing weight, overcome physical pain, and alleviate anxiety. My office is in Dovercourt, and also have another office in Ottawa as well. So if you've got a problem and you've been told is unfixable and you've lost all hope, come find me, I can fix you. So who here wants to quit smoking? No smokers here, great, give yourself a pat on the back for that. Who here wants to lose weight? Okay, there we go, fair enough. Who here has some kind of a phobia, something that's holding them back? Perhaps it's public speaking. Very good. Yes, okay, very good. Who here wants to make more money? There we go. Who here wants to attract their ideal mate into their life? There you go. Who wants to be more persuasive in general with people one-on-one or in groups? Great. Well, hypnosis can help you with all of that. See, the best speakers in the world from as far back as you can remember are all hypnotists, basically. People like Bill Clinton is regarded as a great public speaker. He got trained in hypnosis. People like Barack Obama. We talked a little bit about Anthony Robbins earlier on, who's like the #1 guru in the world. So even Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, he's using what we call hypnotic language patterns to twist certain things with what he says. Hence why you might not like him, but he gets everyone's attention. So with all of the things that I asked you to hold your hand up earlier, hypnosis can help you with all of those things. But to kind of really explain what hypnosis is, oftentimes I can talk till I'm blue in the face about hypnosis, and I'm a charismatic guy and it's going to be very entertaining for you, but then you'll leave and you'll forget about it. So I like to give people a physical demonstration of how powerful your unconscious mind is, because when you actually physically partake in something, it gets locked into your unconscious mind where you can pull those tools in the future because you've been immersed into it. So I wondered, and you can feel free to say no if you want, but I wondered if I could do a little experiment with all of you guys. Would that be okay? Mm-hmm. I promise it's ethical, it's unfattening, and you get to keep your clothes on completely for it, okay? It's okay. So I'm going to ask you to do a bunch of things in a moment. Watch me first, and I'm going to ask that you do it. In a moment, watch me first. I'm going to ask that you interlock your hands like so they're very tight, almost like you're holding a piece of coal between your palms of your hand. I'm then going to ask that you bend your elbows like so, almost like you're making a desperate prayer, and you might want to make one while you're there. I'm also going to ask then that you open up your index fingers. Those are your pointy fingers like so, and I'm just going to ask you to focus on the gap in between and nowhere else. Cool. So hands out like so. Make sure you don't take anyone's eyes out. Clasp them together nice and tight. Interlock your fingers for me. Make sure your thumbs are locked like so. Bend your elbows like so. And now open up your index finger, the pointy finger, and now just focus on the gap between your pointy fingers right there. And just imagine there's a magnet touched to one finger and there's a magnet on the other finger. And with every move that you make, with every breath that you take, those fingers get closer and closer and closer together. Don't resist it, but don't make it happen. Just allow it to happen all by itself. See, she resisted, that's okay. And you can relax, you shake out your hands like so.
Oh wow.
Freaky, right?
Yes.
It's a little bit freaky. Yours touched, but then you freaked out and you went like that. Yeah, my girlfriend used to do that. She was like, this is mind control. Oftentimes people think hypnosis is mind control. And I always say, if I could truly control your minds, if I really could do that, as lovely as you all are, as lovely as this office is with this amazing view, if I could control anyone's mind, do you think I'd be here tonight? I'd be on a Caribbean island somewhere with 10 supermodels around me and $10 trillion in the bank. So even though I'm a great hypnotist, I can't really control anyone's mind. All I can do is give you suggestions and persuade you and nudge you in an ethical way to get more of what you want. But to kind of unpackage hypnosis and what it is, I have to kind of explain how your mind works a little bit. There's two parts of your mind. There's a conscious mind and there's an unconscious mind. Now the conscious mind is everything you're aware of right now. It's just the logical part of your mind. It's the part of your mind that analyzes things, that's looking for facts, looking for figures. Your unconscious mind, however, is responsible for everything you're not thinking about right now. It's responsible for all your memories. You don't sit around thinking, what am I going to think of next? Just a thought pops up, a thought pops up, a thought pops up. That's your unconscious mind. It's part of your mind that's responsible for all your emotions. You don't sit around thinking, well, I'm going to feel sad today. And then frustrated and angry, you just go through these emotions. That's your unconscious mind. It's the part of your mind that's responsible for respiration. You don't have to think about breathing every second of every day. You just breathe. It's your unconscious mind. It's the part of the mind that sends blood flow through your entire body. You don't have to send blood to the little toe on your left foot right now. You just do it automatically. That's your unconscious mind. And it basically controls the whole show. So oftentimes people come to me and let's say they want to quit smoking, lose weight, or they've got some kind of trauma they want to get rid of. And oftentimes I'm the last phone call that they make. See, they've seen the counsellor, they've seen a psychotherapist, hell, they may have even been on some kind of medication. They're still depressed, they still smoke, they're still fat, they're still anxious, their life isn't any better. Because see, they've been trying to logically fix their problems. But what I don't realise is our problems, our psychological problems, none of them are logical. And if you could fix them logically, you just sit in the corner one day and say to myself, feeling a bit down today, aren't I? A bit depressed. Yeah. Why am I doing that? It makes no sense, does it? No, life's all right, isn't it? Yeah. It feels shitty to feel this, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, we might as well just stop that. Oh yeah, sure. It doesn't quite work like that, right? Because all your emotions, all your emotional states are in your unconscious mind. And when people come to see me with hypnosis, we make a bridge from your conscious mind to your unconscious mind. Oftentimes people ask me, what does hypnosis feel like? And to be honest, there's no real feeling. And it's not a tangible thing. It's not like this glass. You know, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can see it. Hypnosis is a lot like electricity. You can see it when it's switched on, but we really don't know how electricity works, even the best minds in the world. So I always say hypnosis is more a experiential learning, where it's your mind and body. And if it were to feel like anything, it's almost like going to a movie. Who likes movies here? Yeah. Who likes the cinema? Do you like cinema? No movies? Okay. And now you go to the cinema. Now you consciously know that none of it's real. You consciously know that everybody on that big screen has been paid vast sums of money to be there. They're reading dialogue. Behind them is camera people. Behind the camera people is a director. Behind the director is a producer. Behind the producer is a movie studio. If it's a big action movie or a superhero movie, nothing's real because it's a big green screen. They do it so well that for that 2 hours that you're there, you start to get invested into the movie. So even though consciously you know none of this is real, if it's a good movie, if it's good actors, if it's a good story, you just suspend disbelief for those couple of hours. That's kind of what hypnosis feels like. And if you don't like movies, you can use a book. Who here likes reading? Yeah, like reading a book. Like, who likes Harry Potter, a book from my country? Harry Potter? No? I thought I was the only one that hadn't read Harry Potter. I didn't like it. I've actually never read a Harry Potter book. Really? It's terrible. I found my soulmate. I found my soulmate here. But yeah, you can change it for any type of book. Even though you know the book's not real, when you're reading that book, you get sucked into the story. Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, whatever it may be. And if it's a really good book, you'll be reading it, and it feels like you've been reading it for maybe 20 minutes because it's such a good book. Then you look at your phone or you look at your watch and like 2 hours has gone past. You're like, 2 hours? Get caught up doing that. That's what we call time distortion. It's a form of hypnosis right there. Hypnosis is kind of like going to a nightclub. The nightclub we want to get into is your unconscious mind. Unfortunately, there's a bouncer at the door, and that bouncer is your conscious mind. And he wants to prevent us from going in because he's security, and he's not sure, what's going on, because your conscious mind's number one job is to, hi, I'm Dr. Luke, by the way.
Charlotte.
Nice to meet you, Charlotte. Your conscious mind's number one job is not to make you happy, it's to make you survive. You see, our brains are about 2 million years old, and they were not designed to make us happy, they were designed to keep us alive, hence fight or flight. We've just evolved a little bit from that now because we don't have to run away from tigers or bears, but we might walk down the street and have social anxiety and stuff like that, so it's kind of morphed into something else. But back to my metaphor, unconscious mind is like the coolest nightclub in town. It's a nightclub where all the beautiful people are. It's a nightclub where anything that you want in the world exists. Any way you want to feel exists in this nightclub. But there's a big, hairy, 350-pound tattooed bouncer at the door who's your conscious mind. We need to get into the nightclub. We don't have a ticket to get in. He's asexual, so you can't even flirt with him to get in. So we have to sign, we don't have a ticket. So So we have to somehow elegantly, artfully sidestep that bouncer in hypnosis. So we get into a nightclub, we're in a place where all change happens. It's not over though, because see, the bouncer is really good at his job. He keeps coming in from time to time to check that everything's in order. And you know the bouncer's coming into your nightclub when we do hypnosis together, because you'll hear things like, is this real? I think this is make-believe. I think Dr. Luke's just talking to me. I know I can really open my eyes, but I'm choosing not to right now. Does Dr. Luke really think I'm hypnotised? That's just the bouncer coming in, doing his job to try and distract you. It happens with all of us. I've been hypnotised myself for 20 years now. It happens all the time with me as well. But eventually, when the bouncer sees, oh, actually no harm's happening here, there's no fights or rocks that are breaking out in the nightclub, everything's in order, and it gets later and later, and the bouncer gets tired and more lazier, he stays at the door, and we get to do all that change work. That's kind of what hypnosis feels like. And hypnosis is like driving a car. It's your car. Everyone here has your own car. And we want to get to a destination. That destination might want to be, I want to be a better public speaker. It might be, I want to quit smoking, I want less anxiety, I want to be happy, I want to lose weight. Whatever it is, that's your destination. Unfortunately, we don't have GPS in the car to get to that destination. We don't have any paper old school maps. I'm the only one that can tell you how to get there. But it's your car. I'm in the back seat. It's your car. Your hands are on the wheel. Your foot's on the accelerator. All I can do is instruct you how to get there. So I say, turn right here, turn left here, go straight here. But you are still fully in control. Because see, if we fight over your unconscious mind, you will only win 100% of the time. Because you're your own best hypnotist, because you're with yourself, 186 hours a week, every week, hypnotizing yourself. See, everything is hypnosis. When people I see suffer from extreme anxiety, it's a form of hypnosis. And they're not sitting down saying, close my eyes, looking at a magic pocket watch that comes, but it's a form of hypnosis. When people are depressed, it's a form of hypnosis. When people are really happy, it's a form of hypnosis. But people do it so fast, unconsciously inside their head, that they don't realise it's a process. They think it's being done to them rather than they're doing it. And everyone does it. So in hypnosis, what I help to do a lot of times is unhypnotise people, because everyone I meet is hypnotised. So people come to see me, I don't think I could be hypnotised, but I'm really depressed. Hypnotising themselves every day to be depressed, because I've worked in hospitals all around the world and worked with clinically depressed people, and even the most clinically depressed people I met that were clinically depressed and all kinds of medication, institutionalised for 20 years, they were not depressed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's impossible to be anything all the time. So oftentimes with hypnosis and the skills that I use is to wake people up from this hypnotic trance they're in that's been unresourceful to them and it's caused them some kind of pain or some kind of discomfort. Yeah, so that's kind of like what hypnosis is. So oftentimes people come to see me, like I say, if they want to quit smoking. Smoking's an easy one. It's almost a side problem where the rules for stopping smoking are almost different from every other problem. About 80% of the people I see for stop smoking are done in 1 hour, in one session. I know this because I follow up with people for 2 years after. So usually smoking is not trauma-based. It's just most people, not all people, but most people just start smoking because it was a cool thing to do at school when they're in their teen years and they start smoking. There's no deep and heavy reason. But sometimes there is, but 80% of the time there isn't. But for everything else, whether that be some kind of PTSD, I get a lot of soldiers, whether that's trauma, whether that's weight, whether that's some kind of addiction on some level, it may take up to 4 sessions when people come to see me. But I realise I've been talking quite a lot, and I want to give you a demo of something. Is that okay? Could I get a demo? Lovely. Could I ask you just to stand up for a moment? Oh, who was kind of freaked out a little bit by the magnetic fingers earlier on? It's kind of a little freaky. I'm going to kind of explain why it happened a little bit later on. But again, let me ask you to do something, and then I want you to do it after. So in a moment, not just yet, I'm going to ask you to put your feet together like so, nice and tight. Your left hand tightly on your left leg. I'm going to ask that you put your right hand out, and I'm going to ask that you point your finger forward, not just yet, just watch me first. I'm then going to ask that you close your eyes, and I'm going to ask that you very slowly turn as far around as you can without moving to the point where you become stuck and rigid and you just can't go anymore. Make sense? Cool. Feet together for me. Left hand on left thigh. Right finger out, make sure you're not going to poke anyone's eyes out, and then just close your eyes for a moment and actually just turn slowly as far as you can to your right side until you get stuck, until you get glued, until you can't go anymore. And when you get to that point where you just hit that wall, you're just stuck, you're just tight, you're rigid, you can't go anymore, keep your hand where it is, just open your eyes and just take a mental note of what's in front of your hand. Just take a snapshot of what's in front of your hand and then just come back and shake out your body a little bit. Cool. So just burn that into your mind, whatever was in front of your hand, because we're going to need it in a moment. I'm just going to ask if you feel comfortable, if you're humanly for a moment, if you could just close your eyes for a moment. I'm just going to ask that you imagine, you pretend, or even make believe that you were to do that exercise again in a few moments from now. But the very next time you do it, you could go even further. It was as if your body was made out of elastic bands, rubber, that there was nothing in your way, that there was nothing holding you back, that you could just sail through it and go even further next time. And just suppose you could go further. What might you see in front of your hand if you could go further next time? Just get a picture or get a sense or a feeling. What sounds might you say to yourself inside your head? What sounds might you hear if you could go even further next time? How would it feel like if you could go even further in your body, outside of your body, emotionally, physically? And now just take a couple of deep breaths where you get that picture, where you get that feeling, where you get that sound, that belief, whatever it is for you that makes sense to you, that you could go even further, that you have absolute certainty that you could go even further and nothing could hold you back. And now, keeping your eyes closed once again for me, put your feet together, put your left hand on your left thigh, put your right arm and hand out in front of you, eyes closed, and now go as far as you can to the right side, noticing that nothing can hold you back this time. Nothing can hold you back. It's just like you're easy, it's breezy, you're made out of elastic bands, and you are more pliable, more flexible, more mobile. And when you can't go any further, if there is a limit that exists, then and only then, open your eyes and see what's in front of your hand now. Burn it into your head, remember it. And come back to now, shake out your arms. Who went 5 inches further second time? Who went 10 inches or more further the second time? Who went 20 inches further the second time? Who went 30 inches or more? Everyone went further, right? It's kind of weird, isn't it? Cool, take a seat. Who would like to know how you did that? No one? Alright, I won't tell you, that's fine. Does anyone want to know how you did that, why you went further? I'll work on audience participation and feedback. So would you like to know why you went further? Cool, alright. So hey, the first time I hypnotized you, well, you hypnotized yourself, I just gave you some suggestions. See, I asked you to do something that you hadn't done, maybe ever before. I don't know who stands around doing this in a normal everyday job, that would be a bit weird. But I asked you to close your eyes, and I actually gave you suggestions. I put some stress in my voice. I gave you suggestions like, oh, you're gonna get stuck, it's like you're hitting a wall, it's rigid, you're tight, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Unconsciously, but see, your unconscious mind, the bit we're working with, is like a little black box in an aeroplane. It records everything from the moment you're born to the day that you die. So your unconscious mind takes it on. Whether it acts upon it or not, it's a different thing. So then, we came back, we reset, and I asked you to close your eyes. And I guided you through a visualization, and for some people, visualization is something they see inside. But for other people, it's something they hear inside. And for other people, they don't do either of those, but they just feel something. It's however you make sense of the world when you close your eyes. So I gave you suggestions with using your visual cortex, your auditory levels, your kinesthetic, your feelings, because I don't know which one you lean on more, that it was going to be even more flexible, that you'd be able to see different things in front of you, maybe you'd hear different sounds, and get you to get totally convinced that you could do that. Then you did it again, and everyone went further. So you just proved that you can all be hypnotized. Give yourself a round of applause. Oftentimes people come up to me and they rather proudly say, oh, I don't think you can hypnotize me. I'm like, well, to be hypnotized, we only need 3 things. Number 1, your IQ needs to be above 70, which means if you're severely retardation, which is 80, IQ of 80, you can still be retarded, you can still be hypnotized. So what you're saying, if you can't be hypnotized, is you're very, very mentally deficient. Number two, you have to want to be there. You have to want to be there and do it. If you don't want to be there or don't want to do it, you're just not going to do it, nothing's going to work, right? Like a diet or something like that. If you don't follow the protocols, nothing's going to work. And the third thing is you have to want to be there, you have to be able to follow instructions. Meaning I once had a client and it came to that point where I kind of did what I did with you, and it came to the point where we were going to do the formal hypnosis. And I asked him to go ahead and close your eyes. And he's staring at me like this. Is it my accent? You know, is that what it is? Did he not hear me? So I'm like, yeah, go ahead and just close your eyes. And he's still just staring at me. So in my head I'm thinking, is he not messing with me? He's paid me, he told me he wanted to be here. We've gone through the whole pre-talk on what hypnosis is and what it isn't. So I said to him, why are you not closing your eyes? He's like, I thought you were going to make me close my eyes. So I poked him in the eyes, he closed his eyes, and it was easy from there. I can't ever hit. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You always hypnotise yourself. If I ask you to close your eyes and you decide to have a stare out at me like that, that's your choice. You could do that, but it's like, why are you in my office? Why have you paid me to help you if you're not going to do it? And you're your own best hypnotist. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. My job is to show people that they can do that. So when they leave my office, they're not codependent on me. It's not like seeing a counsellor, psychotherapist, or even a personal trainer. When they leave my office, they can do the things that we did together in my office on their own. Now, if they've got other problems they want to work on in the future, they can give me a call, but they should never need me about the same problem again, because they have all the skills that they need. My job is to help. My belief is every resource that you need to be a total success in whatever area of your life that is, you have inside to be happy, to be healthy, to be successful. It's just we get layers and layers of shit, technical word, that we gather, conditioning from life, and we forget what we have inside. So often my job, or always my job, is never about giving you something. Never about that. You already have it. I can't give you something you don't already have. I can't give any of you something you don't have. My job is just to remind you and maybe show you that it was there and give you the switch so you can do it on yourself when it comes into the future. Does that make sense? Cool.